How are you doing? This is Craig Durr, Chief Analyst and Founder from the Collab Collective, and we are direct from the Expo, Enterprise Connect 2025. Now, I'm really excited about this next interview because this is featuring one of the keynote speakers that we had today from Zoom, Smita Hashim, who's a Chief Product Officer from Zoom. Welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me here, Craig.
Hey, you had an incredible story on stage. First of all, I think you had everyone's attention, which was beautiful. But we were talking about AI and what Zoom is doing to help transform this story. In the past, we've talked about Zoom AI Companion, but now we're taking it to a new level of being agentic. Will you share that story?
Yeah, absolutely. So we love AI. We love generative AI. I think the possibilities are tremendous. We started on this journey 2 years ago, and we started with meeting summaries. So we started with that, and we have been on an evolution ever since. So I just want to talk a little bit about the journey, which will put it in context. So I would say when we went into it, it was a very thoughtful and considered approach. First of all, we saw the potential, and we said, every user should benefit from it. So we made a decision that we would include Zoom AI Companion at no additional cost
across the
with
board.
all of our paid licenses, right? So that was one. The second thing we said, look, I mean, Zoom is a place where multi-party conversations happen. So we want to make sure customers are really comfortable. So we took the position that we are not going to use customer data for training either Zoom models or third-party models. So that was the second position that we took when we went in. And then we wanted this to be really easy to use. Easy to use, high quality. And we saw the number of models. We could see that even then. So we went in, we said, it's a federated approach wherein we will dynamically choose the right model for a task, which gives us a lot of flexibility, but also gives our customers the best quality.
It does.
So we grounded in those principles, and I think we made good choices because we are holding true to those as we go forward.
Right.
We started with capabilities like meeting summaries, next steps, made them amazingly good, composing chats, generating whiteboards. Last year, we went across the workplace with a single brain, which connects our meetings, chat, phone, documents, whiteboards, even pulls data from Microsoft and Google Mail, Calendar. So it did that. And I think all of that is great. The information synthesis is it's just mind-blowing, you know, how much you can do with it. But then the next step, and this is the step we talked about today, is it's great that it's being able to pull all of this information and really help me. But how about Zoom AI Companion starts completing tasks for you?
Right.
So that is Agentic AI. Agentic really, it talks about more human-like skills, reasoning, memory, orchestration, task actions, finding the right tools. So that is what we announced today.
You are hitting all the keynotes, going from that Zoom AI Companion, we called it 1.0, to this 2.0, once it was across the entire suite of applications, to now this Agentic AI. But here's an interesting challenge. I think Agentic is a word that's almost at risk of being overused.
Absolutely.
And I think people want to understand what it means. Help me understand in your words, how should I think about Agentic AI, especially in the Zoom experience that you're driving?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think there's a foundation which we should think about. Agentic is really more and more like you and me, right? It's still not you and me, but it's more and more like you and me, right? We can look at the bigger picture, we can reason, we can say, like, this is what I want to use to complete this task. Like, we can think about it. We bring those special skills to play. So agentic is really those are things I talked about, whether it's reasoning or memory, you know, or it is about saying, like, I go here to cook, I go here to the gym, right? Like, you know, these are the things which we do as human beings. And then also, like, what do I do? Sometimes I might call my gardener, sometimes, like, you know, or whatever. Like, sometimes I DoorDash, right? Those are all the tools which we use. So I think we think in those terms. Then what does that journey look like in the context of your work?
Okay, sure.
So when you think about it in the context of your work, I feel like it's important to remember it's an evolution. So once you have that bigger picture, which we did with Zoom AI Companion 2.0, then you can say, I'm having this conversation. It talked about scheduling a meeting. It talked about writing a strategy document. How can we just extract all of those things out from there and move users towards doing those things? Right? So I think those are the things which we are talking about. And as a human being, I'm still involved in that, but it'll do a lot more without me having to do every step of the way.
We had some great demonstrations of that on stage. For example, like you said, as it created the task, it then was enabled to actually enact upon those tasks with reason and logic. But you have a lot of great examples that you guys brought up across the portfolio. In fact, I love the slide that you brought up that showed all the new features and functionality that you're releasing here over the near term. But let's hit some of your favorites. Can you share one or two with me that you really liked?
Yeah, I actually personally, I love the calendar scheduling one, right?
Okay, tell me about that.
We have complex, many meetings, complex meetings, lots of discussions. So something which can go ahead and just schedule time, and it can do that effectively across a group, and it starts up a chat conversation. It just does that. It gives you some choices. I think that's great. We think of it as, and especially as your portfolio, your span increases, you really need those kind of things. Another one which I personally use a lot of is Zoom Docs, and having Zoom Docs be created in more effective ways. So what we showed was if I have to create a document, it can actually search and say, I recommend that you pull data from these meetings, these chats, do you want to, and maybe these web sources, do you want to add anything, do you want to delete anything? And once you have that, so it's a step in that direction, right? It's not this thing which goes and does everything and it comes back, but it asks you for some input, some help, and then it creates a draft for me. And I look at that draft and I can evolve it, I can expand it, I can add to it. So those are some of the things which I'm using a lot of, and I have some great examples, but we also talked about notes for physicians. Like,
we're talking about some of the vertical solutions that are taking place here as well too.
Exactly. So your agentic skills, which you're talking about, you can just add a whole range of agentic skills, power them up with these models, including small language models, and connect them to agents. And now you have this whole world which is coming together in ways that's so interesting.
I'm smiling so much because I wish I had that calendar agent trying to get your time and my time together just so we could sit down and have this conversation here. But those are the real world needs that we're talking about, right? When it has the ability to help us bridge those gaps with those challenges, which allow you and myself to focus on some other elements that are more impactful and more deliverable.
Exactly. And I feel like for me, for us, a big part of it is I love working. I know, Craig, you love what you do, right? But enjoyable work means the work of work or a lot of the work. If we can get help on that, then we can do more enjoyable work, more fulfilling work. We can spend more time connecting to each other, which I do think leads to better business outcomes as well, right? So I think those are the things which we really want our customers and users to experience with us. And an area where this takes on a whole different dimension and is really customer experience and customer service.
Got it.
There, if you can have like really powerful but more empathetic agents helping customers with a lot of the routine tasks, at that point you can imagine how much time is freed up to truly connect with customers by humans and really help them, elevate the service or better business outcomes.
I love that. I remember seeing the image that you guys put up on stage of what was taking place with AI impacting what took place in the work experience, as well then as what you're doing within what you call the business activities that were actually touching customers as well too. And in that, you stayed really true to that one core principle. If I'm in my workplace environment, I have a paid Zoom license. I'm getting access to this improved agentic AI experience across the board?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So whether it's now Zoom AI Companion 2.0, it'll get these agentic skills, our virtual agents, which are already there, they are getting the agentic skills, so we are elevating all of them with these agentic skills. It's the natural progression and gift of where AI is going to convert into things which help you and me.
But let's not lose sight. Your team also has drove some really powerful vertical use cases, which had me really excited. You first started talking about them at Zoomtopia, and some of those are now in market or coming to market here soon. You talked about the medical use case for one. There's one that I really enjoy. Would you talk to me about the educational use case?
Yeah, absolutely. So education, I love it. I come from a family of educators myself. So on the education side, we feel like so much more can be done to help our teachers, our wonderful teachers, professors, be able to spend more time truly teaching and, and to really help students learn. So an example of a skill that we are developing, an agentic skill, if you will, is to really create really powerful lecture materials. Bringing all of the surrounding data which teachers might be using and help all of that come together in a way that teachers can or professors can provide it to their students, and then students can consume it at will, and they can annotate it, they can look at it, they can do a back and forth on it, and then we want teachers to be able to see the heat maps of where the students are running into challenges and issues. So you can almost start closing the loop and you can start helping the quality of like learning to go up. So that's something which we are working on and we're very excited
Why
about.
I love that one is because it spans across all levels of knowledge base, almost generational, right?
Yeah.
As you have this transition of human knowledge to a younger generation in a teaching environment. And it makes me think about how you closed your keynote. It was a really wonderful phrase, and I want to have you kind of revisit that here in this conversation. And you were talking about the role of AI. And I won't give away the punchline, but share with me, what is your view of the role of AI?
Yeah. We feel like for us, AI, it's not for AI's sake, right? I mean, our AI is really to help you, me, our customers, our users really be able to do work which is more impactful, which is more fulfilling, which is more engaging. And we believe in it. We believe that that's what it takes to work happy. So Zoom's punchline is really...
It brings it back to being happy. I love it.
So that's what, so that's really where we want to take our AI solution.
That's fantastic. So to our viewer audience, when are they going to start seeing some of these features in market? When should we expect that?
Yeah, so starting in April, they will customers can get their hands on AI Studio, and within AI Studio, they will start seeing more and more agentic skills, more capabilities to create agents. It'll continue to roll out from there.
I'm going to be working on that and looking for that calendar syncing AI agent to help you and I get time together. Well, Smita, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and what you shared on stage at Enterprise Connect. I appreciate it. Everyone, this is Craig Durr with the Collab Collective. We are here at Enterprise Connect 2025, bringing you more insights direct from the Expo. Take care.
Thank you so much, Craig. It's great to be here.